Hi fellow developers, so in this tutorial we will be seeing how to deploy a Python script to Heroku and have it run every couple seconds, just like you can see it from this console here, right? So if you see here, we have 13. In a couple seconds it should increase to 14, right? So you see that in a couple minutes, you see that, and we'll move over to our code editor to start. So obviously the first thing to do is to have the script that you want to deploy to Heroku and have it run periodically, right? So for me, I have this very small script here. This is just a script that just calls an API, JSON placeholder, and console.logs the response here, right? So if I run Python main.py, if I run that, you can see, yeah, you can see that it's printing out this message here, this print message here, and it's also printing the response we are getting from the API, right? So, and if you notice, it's also running periodically every 2 seconds, I guess, yeah. So you also get to know why, and we dive into that, right? So that's the first step done. Have your script ready, right? So the second step will be pushing your code to GitHub, right? So this is the code, this is the GitHub repo that contains this script here that I just created, right? So this is the GitHub repo, right? Then the second one will be having your Heroku account ready, right? So having your Heroku account ready, logging into your account and coming to your dashboard, right? So this is my dashboard. Obviously, I have a few projects here, right? So this is my dashboard right here, right? So what we are going to do next is we are going to create a new app on Heroku, right? So that's what it's called, apps on Heroku, right? So we're going to create a new app, give it a custom name, and yeah. So the name, you choose the name you want to call your script, right? So this should be unique. I think it's globally unique for the whole Heroku website also. I think this should be unique globally. So you choose a name. Let's call this um, YouTube Heroku script, right? Because why not, right? So I see right here it's saying is available, right? So we just click on create app. So if we click on create app, Heroku just makes it easy to deploy your projects to their platform, right? Using GitHub, right? So if you come to this GitHub repo I just created, if you copy the name of the repo, if you come here, you come under deploy, right? Under deploy, you see this tab here, which is GitHub, right? If you click on it, and let me just bring this up, just bring my stupid screen, right? So if you click on it, if you click on GitHub here, come to repo name, right? If you paste the repo, obviously you have to connect your GitHub account here, right? So if you come here, when you just created your Heroku account, right? So here there will be no GitHub account connected to it, so you have to connect it, enter your password and username, just something like that, and you connect it, right? So here you come here and search for the repo, right? So if I click on search here, it should bring out a repo, so you can see this GitHub repo, right? So this GitHub repo right here, right? So we are just trying to give Heroku access to our source code, right? So if you click on connect, so if you click on connect and we say deploy, right? So this will deploy our code, right? So I'll come back to this tab right here, but before then, let me go back to our code right here, right? So you can see before you deploy to Heroku, you need like 3 files, right? So first one is your requirement.txt file. This will be the file that contains all the requirements for your project, right? Right now, I just have basically request, right? That's the only that's the only package I installed, right? All other packages here are dependency packages, right? So to create this requirement.txt, you just come here, number 0, pip freeze requirement .txt, right? So if you click that, it will create requirement. I misspelled it here, not this requirement.txt, right? So if you spell it correctly, obviously, you spell it correctly, obviously, I say pip freeze this should be less than requirement.txt. It will create this file for you and push in all the requirements you have for your project, right? So the next one would be Procfile, right? So Procfile will contain commands you want to run on your Heroku server, right? So this one right here is the worker, right? So worker python manage.py. What does this mean? This means this means that when you want to run that we want to run a command on Heroku. That's what this is saying. We want to run a command on Heroku. Now, what is the command? The command is python manage.py. That's what we are trying to say here. Python manage.py, obviously the command you run to start up your script, right? So the name of my Python script is manage.py. So we say python manage.py to run this Python script here. So that's what you say here. Worker column the command right here, python manage.py. Obviously, if you are using Node, it will be node main.js, right? I guess the JS is optional. So node main, right? Something like that, right? So if you have requirement.txt, have Procfile, the next thing to have is the runtime.txt. Runtime.txt is just trying to tell Heroku the Python version you want to use for your project, for your script, right? So those are the three things you need: your script, requirement.txt, Procfile, and runtime.txt, right? So if we let's come here. Hopefully our project has deployed, right? So our project has deployed, right? So if we come to another tab here, which is resources, right? We'll come to resources here. So if we come to resources here, you can see we have add-ons, right? So there are many add-ons for scheduling tasks in Heroku. So if we come here, we can see an add. If we type scheduler, right? We can see different schedulers, advanced scheduler, Heroku scheduler, etc. But all of these schedulers are paid, right? You have to pay for them, like a reasonable amount. For me, like $5 or I guess up to $10 a month or something like that, right? But what we have now, we look for a way to do it free, right? Because I love free, you should love free, and we should love free. Yeah. So if we come here right now, let's refresh here. Let's refresh. If we refresh, we should see a dyno, something called dyno, right? So you can see a dyno here, right? Under this basic dyno tab, under this tab here, you can see this worker, python manage.py. Who can remember? This is the same command we entered in our Procfile, right? So this is what it will do. It will come to your dyno tab and it will add this, right, as a dyno, right? So to start up this dyno, you just click on here, click on this pencil sign, click on this confirm, and it will start, right? So it's taking a bit. So we have our dyno started here. So the dyno is running, right? So how do we know that our script is running correctly, right? So if you come here, go to view logs. You go to view log. This is where like your your log for your commands will show. So if you come here under the logs, let me increase this for you to see. So under the logs, you can see that our commands are running, right? Our script is running. This has executed. Another one has executed. So another one has executed. So that's just it. So this will be running periodically, as long as you specify, right? So what you have to do here is maybe you come here, maybe you want this to run for a day. I guess 86,000 seconds or so. 6,400 seconds makes a day, I guess, right? So if you maybe need it to run every 2 days, maybe let's say times 2, right? And you now use it here, right? So that your code will run every 2 days, right? Obviously, you specify the logic of your code, the business logic of your code. That's not really my problem right now, right? So you specify the logic of your code and you pass it in, right? I have it executed periodically. You can also use the Heroku schedulers. But I think if I can do it free, why pay for it, right? That's what I'm saying. If I can do it free, why should I pay for it, right? So that's it for me today, guys. Subscribe, like this video, share with anyone you feel find it important, and have a nice day.